Okay, so here's the real story on what happened to Greg Lubeline. He showed up to the party, uninvited, got what he got. Afterwards, later on in the night, he stayed. He continued to party with the boys. He talked it out with my brother and shook hands with him and continued to drink with him, and even went to Jack in the Box and ate with him. I'm sure Jack in the Box has the surveillance tapes. You can see both of them in the car, which is not being held against his will, like he said, you know what I mean. Then the cops came, and Greg, my brother, went and hid in the vent by himself, and he has a video of himself in the vent. And just take note real quick. Each one of these videos, which is a good thing about Galaxy S3s, have dates and times of the recordings. So my brother gets in the vent, and then Greg comes up and begs to be hidden. He doesn't want to be involved with the police. Like always, like anybody else, you know, it's trouble is trouble. Every kid doesn't want to get into trouble. They want to stay out of trouble. And as much history he has with the police, he wants to stay out of it. So he was put into the vent, joining my brother, and he stayed there with my brother. Police went through the house, looked through the house. Then after that, Greg came out. It was fine. 25 minutes after, everybody comes out of hiding. We all start drinking in the kitchen, which is the video on my post, on Dalton Garland's post, on Chuck Davis's post, on Orlando Diaz's post. You will see the video after the police left, you know, copied to a link. And on that link, it has a blog. And the blog says what happened to Greg. That Greg was unconscious, dragged to the vent, and left there for 2 hours, bleeding to death, until found and taken to a hospital. Well, here, as you'll see on my videos, that he was resisting all help. Everybody was trying to help him. The same people that jumped him. Okay? So, how could somebody be passed out, unconscious, dying, feared for their life, be in a vent, when really, I mean, how can he be dying in a vent when this video shows clearly that he was conscious, well aware of his whereabouts, no gun point at all, no gun was involved, no gun was involved at all, anything, okay? So he's standing in this kitchen on the video, aware of his surroundings, not in fear of his life, okay? Resisting help. We tried to take him to the hospital. We tried to help him out. He didn't want any of it. He didn't want anything. Said he couldn't afford it, didn't have insurance, didn't want the help, he was fine. And then he stayed the night with his friend. What's his name?
Fuck.
Most Gifted. Whatever. His buddy, the
guy.
The colored kid, the black kid with the dreadlocks. Most Gifted.
Falls asleep in a room.
Mustafa, whatever, Most Gifted. His buddy, who lied to the cops as well and said that he didn't even know who Greg was, which is Greg's only witness at all for anything. You know, the only one there for him and with him, which is a nice little story about him. But you get that in our later videos. We got more coming as well. But my point is he's trying to say that we took him by gunpoint and dragged him in a vent. Let me tell you something. Even in my shoes, okay, if I was in his shoes and somebody had me at gunpoint, somebody had me, you know, life threatening, I was scared for my life, and I was terrified and didn't know what to do, and these guys they jumped me, they're trying to kill me, they dragged me to a vent. Why would I, 20 minutes later, after the cops left, be standing in the kitchen next to the island, resisting all help? Resisting everything. Let me tell you something. If I was his friend that was there, and my buddy was being held against his will by gunpoint, if that cop was at that front fucking door, that's the cavalry for me. I'm fucking telling them what's going on and where they hid my fucking friend. Because he knew where Greg was hidden. And he lied to the cops and told the cops, I don't know who Greg is. Okay? Just like everybody else did. Okay? Because Greg said, shh, everybody quiet. I'm not here. Hide me. Okay? So the moral of the story is if you're really scared, you're really feared for your life, you're really fucking, you see your life flashing before your eyes, you feel like you're gonna die, you got the shit beat out of you, you wouldn't stay, you try to get away, okay? If you have anything to live for, you would do everything in your power to get away, okay? There's no gun involved as well. So there was nothing holding him there. And that it just irks me to read these blogs about him being held against his will, and the video clearly states different. If I was his friend, I would have totally just been like, hey, you know what? These guys are holding us against will by gunpoint. You know, they threatened us. They jumped my friend. He's bleeding to death. He's bad. No, none of them did it. Greg stayed hidden. His buddy stayed at the door, gave his information to the police as I did, and didn't say anything. That right there clearly states that they were not in fear. And Greg also came to a civil agreement with my brother. They shook hands and continued to stay. Hid from the cops, stayed, drank, and then him and his buddy, Most Gifted, stayed the night. Most Gifted passed out. He was passed out on the fucking on the couch. Greg was up drinking, and then he passed out. And then they woke up later that day, and then Greg went to the hospital. Everything Greg is saying is a lie. My brother, as you all know, Major Reese, you know what you know. I'm not saying anything else, okay? Nobody's really supporting what happened, but the lies to get attention, the publicity stunts, which Greg always does. You all know Greg. Now, you can sit here and you can defend him and support him all you want, okay? So you can continue your partying and you know, whatever else you want to do. You have your own choice. But to hear the truth, that's a bitch, okay? That sucks. Because the truth hurts, okay? And we're about to get it out there. We know what happened. I know what happened. Everybody else knows what happened. The video, as my dad said, the video speaks for itself. There's nothing that can be said or done against that or anything. But the allegations that are being made, the false accusations that are being made, that is what I'm standing up for. That is why we are making this viral. Those charges are nothing to play around with. If you're going to get somebody for something they did, get them for something they did. Hell, my brother will man up, okay? And he will accept his consequences. But we will not sit here and we will not accept charges and accept something we did not do. We, as in my brother. My brother's my family. I am him, he is I. We are one. That's my army of one. That's my brother. That's my best friend. And we will not sit by and allow this to happen. What was done shouldn't be allowed to happen as well. I can't stand there and support it. Okay? And my brother doesn't really support it. A lot of people weren't really in the right state of mind, if we want to say that, if that's the correct phrase to say, okay? So it's not really something everybody stands up for. It happened. There was reasons. They may not have been right, but it happened, okay? And there's consequences that will most likely be served, or whatever happens, okay? But in the end, when you lie about certain things that happened, like bringing guns into it and bringing kidnapping into it, just to get some attention, you know, I'd have to say that is lower than what the boys did on that video. I would say that is lower, because to go that far, okay, somebody that gets jumped, they deserve to either get jumped back or get, you know, some assault charges or something. They don't deserve, you know, 5 to 15 years in prison. I don't think people understand how long you go to prison for kidnapping. You can get 5, I don't know, I think it's like 5 to 15 years, anywhere between that. Especially being held at gunpoint. That's not something to play around with. And for somebody to sit there, you know, Greg, who is the somebody, for him to sit there and make these false accusations and wrongful allegations towards my brothers and some other people. They did what they did, and sooner or later shit's gonna come out. You know, just everything's gonna come out. which I'm not going to sit here and get any farther into. Like I said, you know what you know without getting into any further story. You've seen the video. Video speaks for itself. So, point blank said, it is wrong to lie about that. And my opinion, it is worse than what those boys did to him. But it is wrong to, just to get attention, to, you know, try to put somebody in prison for that long, or to put somebody in jail for something they didn't do. Get them for something they did do. That's fine. Right by me. Serve justice. Like his sister did with her dry crying. I don't know what the fuck that was about, but, you know, let justice be served right, okay? If justice is going to be served right, let it be served right for wrong that has been done. Don't do wrong so that you could try to see your wrong be righted, if that makes any sense. So, go to my Facebook, go to Chuck Davis's Facebook, go to everybody's Facebook that has the video, copy the video, share it, and this video is for people that make false accusations and try to wrong other people by lying. That is what this is all about. This is not about trying to right some wrongs. This is about getting justice for what he is doing, which is also wrong. Two wrongs do not make a right. So why sit here and let him do that and jump in our boat? Everybody's boat needs to be sunk. So my message to you guys is, don't listen to the bullshit. Listen to the facts. Stick to the facts, and you will be booked in. You'll be informed more on everything from here. So, you guys have a good night.
Also, I got a few things to say.
Okay.
Why the fuck you gonna come to a party where a bunch of people, everyone there does not like him? Why show up? I mean,
and like I said, I don't want to get any further. I don't want to get any further
and
into
if you're
that.
abducted,
Let the video speak for itself.
and if you're a kidnapped, I'm not gonna stay in the backyard by myself with my friend when I have a chance to run away and sit back and just talk about whatever happened. You just don't do that.
And then, like I said, you don't want to incriminate or say anything else, any other people. There's professionals out there. There's people out there that will be looking into this. People will be looking into this. Let the video speak for itself. That'll kind of answer your question. Let the video speak for itself. Let our video speak for itself. Let our blog, let everything speak for itself, and let everything fall into the right place.
Right.
Going to the police about something that was done wrong to you, that was the right thing to do. I will not sit here and not support it. But to take it farther to get attention, I do not support that. And that is the point of my video that I'm making to you right now. And like I said before, truth hurts. Truth's a bitch. And publicity stunts are a bitch when they blow up in your face. And that's what this one's about to do. Share my video. Thank you.